When it comes to safety, nothing is more important than your vehicle's brakes. If it's hard to stop or you hear squealing or grinding noises during braking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You'll find the brake parts you need from trusted brands like Brake Best and Brake Best Select at everyday low prices. Play it safe with brakes from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Blog Talk Radio.
Let us not be ashamed to ask the good Lord to walk with us in every situation, whatever you may be going through. Don't be ashamed to ask the good Lord to walk with you. Walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. I need Jesus to walk with me while I'm on.
Hello and welcome to Rolling with the Diva. I'm Sabrina Williams and I'm your host. And for the next 30 to 90 minutes, we're going to do some great interviews, enjoy some great music, and just tell you guys how much we appreciate you for listening. Have a good time and enjoy the show.
All right, it's Sabrina Williams, and I'm your host from Las Vegas, Nevada, and you're on the air with Rolling with the Diva. It is 96 degrees, and I was going to go in the house, but I decided to drive around, but then I decided to park because I almost caused an accident because I wasn't looking where I was going. Anyway, so on the line, we have Miss Kimmie Kim with Elations Radio and Magazine, and today we're going to interview Kimmie because she does a lot of things in the community and networks with a lot of people. Welcome, Miss Kimmie.
Thank you for having me, my sister. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Well, we know about that thing about the sister thing, right?
Amen. You know it.
Okay, so, I'm going to keep correcting people on that, so you guys know my name, and I'm not being a hardcore person or mean, but okay. Now, anyway, moving on, so people know.
No, you are good. You are good.
Okay. All right. You know what, Kimmie? First, I'd like you to tell everybody where you're from and what you do, and then talk a little bit about your radio and your magazine.
Amen. Well, my name is Kimmie Kim, Kimmie Robinson, a.k.a. Kimmie Kim, and I am from St. Louis, Missouri. And what do I do? Well, from 8 to 5, I am an auditor, but my most enjoyable moments is really ministering to those who are in need, like when it comes to minister to the last, the least, and the lost. I love spreading the good news gospel of Jesus Christ because I know what the word has done for me. But in the midst of doing that, I'm having fun. So Elation Radio and Elation Magazine was given to me. Elation Magazine, the division came to me back in 1994, but I didn't start that division, start doing it until 2009, until God gave me the second chance to do it again. And so I have been blessed with Elation Magazine. We are honoring our 5th year in July, and it's been an amazing road. And there's been some ups and downs. Yes. I would say officially 4, but 5 when I really decided to just go and trust God. You know how sometimes that fear may become your enemy, and you're like, God, I'm not good enough. I'm not big enough, but I am your God. So I took the chance and, stepped out on faith, and I thank God for that. It's all about Him.
Amen on that. So what are the topics that your Elations magazine covers? What are some of the things?
Oh, my goodness. That's one thing I love about God. It's like a variety of things because, you may have some believers who want to look pretty or keep healthy or need a life coach or have sermons or, maybe want to know what's going on in the news of gospel artists. So it's a variety. We do have things each month, but basically I don't like to put God in a box where we just focus on the word, because I'm still reminded that this earth is the Lord, it belongs to God and everything in it. So I can really have the same format with some of the secular magazines, but just put it in a format that is pleasing to God. So I still want to look nice for the Lord. I still want to have good music and good eating, and every once in a while I'll drink my wine. So, yes, I really believe it's how you have fun and how you represent God. And if you do it for the pleasing of his kingdom, you are all right. So we have a variety of subjects and matters that we've covered. Because, I don't believe we also have poetry, spoken word. It's been amazing time. So there's a lot of variety. Like this month's theme, we're focusing on mothers, because I really believe, moms are important. They do a lot of work. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've learned something today, because I have a couple of different topics, and I didn't know we focus on beauty. So I'm going to have to send that in, because I know a lot of people always ask me, like, what do you do to stay in shape, especially at your age, after I tell them, don't tell me that age thing. But then I tell people that. I just, it's really, it's hard work, but I like how you talked about, wine. And for all those people that, going to write in and say, oh, my God, you shouldn't be drinking, just so you guys knew, this is the Bible scholar in me, at the time and place when Jesus was actually walking on the earth, did you know wine was used as the mainstay of liquid because of the water circumstances, and there was not always access to water? The water was very degraded and was not always palatable, and people did not get drunk. Some did, but those were very few in between. People understood the concept, so that is a can't drink wine. But there's many events that, fundraisers that people go to that they drink wine or they have wine. And I don't know about anybody else in the state, but in Las Vegas, it is becoming yoga and wine, beer and wine, paint and wine. I'm like, and I want to cover some of those. Because I want to cover some of those. Sometimes I think it was people want me, because it's really interesting to go meet the people and go to these events. Because one is every state has where you can just go paint you follow the instructor and paint, but they'll have paint with wine. And it's interesting because as you get to talk to the people in the event, they're just normal people trying to de-stress and trying to, some of them just take this opportunity, like you talk about moms. It's just their one time a month that they can come have one glass of wine, and because the places don't make you drunk because they don't want the liability, but have a glass of wine, meet other women, talk to them, and fellowship and build friends. I like that. I'm going to have to write about those things.
Yeah, please. I don't put God in the box. God did never say we couldn't do those things. He says, don't do those things in excess. I don't drink to get drunk. I drink because I love the way, grape and apples taste together and other ingredients. So I'm not limiting myself based on what people say. I'm following what God said that I can do. So when you focus on what God said you can do, you can release your bondage from people, because people can't send me to heaven or hell. So
yeah, they can. Now, some people would like to think that they can, but you know what? Now, those people, I would have to say, you might really think about what you're wearing in the hell. Let me stop. But anyway.
I love you, girl.
It's always the people who say, oh, my God, you're going to hell for doing this, this, and this. But if you really look at their lives, think about it, Kimmie. If you really look at them, you're like, no, you are, and you might want to have, a T-shirt on, because you are going to be sweating a lot. You're going to hell.
Exactly.
To some people, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm just saying, they'll be like the first one preaching, oh, my God, the Bible this and the Bible that. But then you look at them, and I'm like, oh, my God, really? Mr. and Mrs. Crazy person who has, something to say. So you're like, no, I don't think so. I just laugh. But anyway, so tell us about your radio show that you have on iHeart.
Oh, my goodness. God is moving. Okay, this was not part of God's plan. Well, now it is, but I was just going to do the magazine and just run with it. And then I met a friend by the name of Kimmie Boy. He was like, why don't you come down to the radio station and I interview you? I was like, sure. So I went down there and I fell in love with radio. I have always wanted to see what radio was like. So at first I started at 1010 AM Elation Radio, and then a few years after that I met Jerry Worth, and Jerry was like, why don't you just come over here and save that money? And I was like, well, Jerry, I don't know if I want to do this every day, Jerry. I just love radio. He's like, give it a chance. So I met with Jerry back in 2015, and he is the reason why, because I didn't know if I could do this full time. So this was really God's blessing. This was not in my forefront. So really, Elation Radio is a copycat of the Elation Magazine, because everyone cannot, see. So I want to make sure that those who can't see, they can hear. So that way I can cover most of the people who are, without sight or hearing. And I love radio because it gives us the opportunity not to only speak it, but also announce it, because I really believe there is power in the tongue. And when you can speak it, you are really proclaiming it. And then the devil will leave and say, wow, that person right there got too much faith, and he'll come back for some more. But it gives you the opportunity to release that energy into the universe. I love it.
It
yeah.
does. And now you have different, on your iHeartRadio, you have different podcasters that come on, just like with the radio. With your magazine, different people talk about different topics. Is that right?
Yes. And one of them is Sabrina. I love her. So your show is funny. I'm like, how to have fun in the Lord. I just love it because everyone's not going to come to Christ the same way. So I may not be able to reach this person where you probably could, or the Pastor Corners can, or maybe Larry Corkins can. Everybody's not going to reach everybody. So that's why I believe in variety and having fun with it and making it less stress and less pressure, but allow people to have their own creativity. And they are my boss, and I just want to make sure that they are okay. Because really, this is all about proclaiming God, and it's not about me. It's all about Him. So I want to make sure that, there's variety for people to laugh at and to get information and have fun and be goofy in the Lord. You see so many.
And that is exactly what I do. Exactly.
I'm goofy. I love laughter, and that's why I know we connected instantly, because of your laughter. I mean, I'm goofy with mine, because when you understand the power of God, it's kind of hard to be sad.
Oh, it really is. I mean, like, seriously, when people, I would tell people, when I first became saved, I was like one of those people that people should have ran from, like, oh, my God, I could quote you every Bible verse, tell you everything. And then things happened, things changed, and, ups and downs. And, I left God, came back to God, but God never left me. That's the one thing I'll tell people. When you go through things, you can think that, oh, my God, God's not coming for you, or He's not with you, and He doesn't care about you. But I'm going to tell you, or God wasn't there carrying me. He really was carrying you. You just don't realize it until you really look back, and you actually – if you look back, you'll see the footprints in the cement, the sand, the ground, because there was somebody else that made an impression because they were carrying you. You may not have felt it, but when you look back, you can see the God. And you know what? So we leave God. He never leaves us, even though,
Amen.
And I've had people who said, you know what? Well, I'm an atheist. Well, God still ain't left you. Well, that's your choice.
Right.
That's your choice. It's a choice you're making, but at the end of the day, God still loves you. You'll have to make the choice for yourself. But, I think that I do radio, one, because I just like to see people I love networking.
Me too.
Kimmie, guess what? I have to tell you, I have somebody for you to interview. His name's Ronald Arnold. He's a 6-time elected right now, up for 6 Grammys for as a Christian artist and, other music. Really a great guy to interview. He has a fantastic story of being humble with God, and just really, God is just really blessing me with really great people to interview and to talk to.
I love it.
So
yes.
I'm really excited, and plus I get to talk about my topics. Like today is Nurses Day. A lot of people don't know that, but I like to sometimes, celebrate the things that's on the calendar. Who created this national day? Who knows? Could have been a nurse. Who knows? But today is actually National Nurses Day. Now, I know some people don't like nurses, and I know some people do like nurses.
I do.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you, I've had good and bad nurses. But as I was thinking about this, I think back to the time of when I was in Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and my I had to have a hip surgery because my hip socket was no longer there. My mom at first thought I was demon-possessed because I could turn my foot around, and she sprinkled holy water on me, literally. Me being the savvy child that I was, like, Mom, I'm not a demon, I'm not possessed, I think we need to go to the hospital. This is not the backwoods of some state or something. Please, here we go to the doctor. Went to the doctor, they did an operation, and I had to be in the hospital for a while, and my mom was a single parent, and she had to work. And if it wasn't for those nurses, I don't think I would have gotten as much love as I needed as a child because I was in the hospital so much. And, Kimmie, I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember the times when kids had asthma or adults had asthma and they didn't have these machines that they have now?
Yes.
And I was I had bad asthma attacks, so bad that it was just awful. I couldn't even breathe, and I was on the side of the bed, and you were waiting for the tablet to take effect. We didn't have the nebulizer and all those. And the nurses at the hospital were really great. So I'm thankful for the nurses because nurses do a job that, you know, they sometimes have to be a counselor. They have to be somebody to hold. There's so many NICU nurses, neonatal intensive care that holds babies that are born to drugs or other problems that sometimes that the parents can't take care of them, and they're there. So we really take our hats off to the nurses, and happy Nurses Day.
Yes.
Thank you for being nurses. And for those nurses that somebody may be known to be mean, maybe those are the nurses that go into hell. I don't know. I'm just joking. But maybe they just need a hug and need something. I don't know. Give them a glass of wine because they just probably need a wine. Give them some wine. You know, I can't. Give somebody a glass of wine. I don't know. But anyway, Kimmie, what do you have coming up next? What for you for your radio and for your magazine?
Well, what I have coming up is an event that I'm doing in the Pensacola area. It's going to be hosting, showcasing local talent in the Pensacola area, and I'll be hosting that. And it's going to be fun. I love it. And then we'll be in Greenbelt, Maryland to do the Elation Gala. And basically, those are the next two events. And then hopefully my goal is to come to see Sabrina Williams very soon in Vegas.
Hey, I'll be here because I'm like, oh my God, I go to work. Not to my birthday. But I want to talk to you guys about God's grace and God's love and going through difficult things. You know, today I had to say goodbye to the love of my life because he had been given, and I'm the first person to be honest about situation. He had been given a couple of chances on situations, and he chose to lie and keep lying. And I'm the number one person that I would forgive you even if you ran over my foot because I'm just have gotten to this place in the last couple of years where, you know what, life is short. They're God's people, and you have to love people where they are. But at some point, you have to be willing to walk away from people until they're ready to see what they need to change because you cannot change anybody. You cannot make people change or do anything that they don't want to do unless they have changed their heart and they've changed their heart with God. So as much as I love that person, they are literally gone. And when I say gone, this is one of my things I'm doing on dating. When you say goodbye to somebody, it doesn't mean you have to block their number or anything, but it does mean you delete their number from the phone. You delete them from your contacts on Facebook, Instagram, and those things because you need to move on. Now, not everybody is like me. Let me rephrase that because when I deal with people, I'm just the first one. I'll pray about it. I'll listen to my song from Matthew West called Forgiveness because forgiveness is really for you people. It's not for that person. When you can forgive yourself and you just say, I forgive them, and you're forgiving yourself for maybe there was something there you didn't see. Maybe it was. Maybe you don't know. But when it comes to relationships, you forgive yourself, you forgive the person, and you move on. You don't have to be like Sabrina because I can go through heartache and pain in a matter of 48 hours and move on. I really can. I'm really good at that. And it's not a Band-Aid that people call, but I just don't need to dwell on those things. I don't. What can I do about it? And but I'm here to tell you, it hurt me more to do that. But I know and when I can come on the radio and talk about it, I'm gonna tell you guys, men and women. And I have another friend who went through the same thing with his ex-girlfriend just recently. You have to be strong enough to tell yourself that there's something better and a plan that God has for you. And you have to remember the verse Jeremiah 29:11. God has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but give you a hope in a future. And you know what? I may not have the verse exactly right, so those Bible scholars, don't write me, because I'm going to just, tell you something. But if you want to,
He knows your heart, and you did have it right. You paraphrasing. That is exactly what he said in Jeremiah. Oh, that's amazing. Girl, you're amazing.
Yeah, so I'm here to tell people, and I'm about being honest, and that's what I really am priding my shows on lately, about being honest and keeping it real in my life for you guys, so you guys can't ever say, oh, my God, she didn't say that. Oh, my God, I love that person. I really did. I love them, and I still love them, and that won't go away, but time will take me unto another person. Does God have somebody in plan for me? Oh, you bet he does, because God doesn't want me sitting up there every day talking to him and bugging him, because God says, he will give you desires of your heart. God doesn't want me single any more than he wants undone to be president, okay? So he has a plan for me. So I'm claiming a man to be married to, okay? Just so people know. But you know what? You have to be willing to walk away from circumstances, because sometimes the fear will get us to stay with something. But you know what? I know I did the right thing. And why am I selling it out on the radio? Because I want people to understand that, you know what, dating, whether you're dating online or you meet somebody online, you date them, and you go into, or you meet somebody at the coffee shop or at a wine club meeting. I don't know. You have to.
Yes.
Because some people, I think that's where I'm head next time to look for my person. Because maybe if I'm a little tipsy, I can see maybe I'll see more.
Well, you know what they say. Drunk tells you the truth, but I don't know.
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you, because I'm very, very in tune with people when I'm like a tiny bit tipsy. Because I'm like, I don't like you. So, yeah. So, you know what? But just keeping it real, and I'm making light of it, because you have to have humor. But at the end of the day, I will miss that person. I will love them always, and they will have a part of my heart. But you know what? When you're given an opportunity, you can only give people so many opportunities. Because when you keep giving people opportunities, it becomes a roadmap for them to keep stepping on you, because they know they can keep coming back and saying they're sorry or they apologize. How many times are you willing to put up with that? And how many times does God allow us to do that before he disciplines us? Seriously. You know what I'm saying, Kimmie?
Yes, you just hit a note. I'm telling you, God does get tired of us making the same sister, and it's amazing. It is so amazing. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I
never mean to, I don't know why, but I can get on the radio and I can get radio in tune. I'm thinking if I started church, but then I couldn't start a church because I would be the first one to tell somebody, that outfit's not for you. In the name of Jesus, take that off. I need you to stop wearing that. Okay, your child is quiet. Your child talks too much, and they're bad. So I probably wouldn't have a lot of people following me, because I would be like the pastor that just tells you like it is. I'm not going to candy coat it. Ma'am, that outfit, really, it's Sunday. It's not Saturday. Get that off. Okay, I'm just not, sir. Really. You really always wear that to church? Okay. See, I'm just the kind of pastor. Don't tithe. I don't care, because it's not between me. It's between you and God anyway. God knows. I don't care. So I couldn't be a pastor, because I'd be like, oh my God. Yes, but when I come on the radio, things just hit me where I'm just like, I just want to be truthful and I want to be honest, and so people always know where I'm going with my life and with things, because things are gonna look up. Today I was like really sad about, hey, I really have to say goodbye to that person. But then I'm like, no, you still got a radio show to do. You still got things to do. Let's roll and let's get on with it and be truthful, because you know what? When people listen to the show, I know it'll help somebody else. And I'm going to tell you people, and this is my thing, I got off a little bit off of my 64-point list thing, and that's what happened. See, I got to stick to that point list. And if you stick to the point list that you make for what your criteria of a person that you want to be with, it will work, okay? And so when you get out, and I'm going to tell you, you guys can all have my 64-point list. All you got to do is send me a Snickers bar or a Butterfingers. just email me and I'll give you the address because I don't need no money. Look, I get like a truckload of stickers.
You are mad, girl.
I could go for $29.95. You could have my 64-point list. But then I'm thinking, oh my God, that's a commercial. But I'm just gonna give it to you for a Snickers bar or for a Butterfinger, okay? I'm not, and you too can have a successful dating life leading into marriage. And I wavered on that list, and you know what? And that's exactly what happened because I shouldn't have wavered on the list. You know what? And
Amen.
you don't.
Amen.
And you know what? And I made that list up over 2 years ago, and it had been working for me. But, you get lackadaisical, and you think you know better than God, and boom. So God's like, I don't think so. You better put that life vest on that I gave you off the Bible in your list and get on back over to the real people side. So, yeah. And you know what? As you go through things, you can't have the same reaction every time. You got to learn from it and move on because that's how you move up, and my belief, to a different elevation with God, and how you become a stronger person in your walk and faith, and how you can because you know what, if it's going to tear you down every time, it's not. But anyway, Kimmie, enough about me. What's our topic in case people wanted to write for Elations Magazine for June? What's the topic, and where can people send in their articles to?
Sure. For June, it's Abba Father. We're just honoring our Father in heaven. I'm like you. I've tried to have the things similar to the world, but put it in God perspective. So you're welcome to send the articles to elationmagazine@gmail.com. And we're talking about our Heavenly Father. We all have a Father. You may not have an earthly father, but you have a Heavenly Father, and that is amazing. And I love that. I love the fact that God is simply amazing. He is a provider. He is, a provider. He's a provider for me when it comes to the fruits of the Spirit. I have love, joy, and peace. Those things I can get from earthly food, earthly drinks, earthly things. It only comes absolutely from God in completeness. And that is why I feel so blessed, and that's why I love my people. I love God's people. I love people altogether. It's just something about the unity of God people. When you come together, you can talk about Him, and you can be yourself, and you're not being fake. Cause I'm with you. I like to be real. Hey, I overcome a lot of things, and I'm still overcoming some things. But one thing I know. Had it not been for the Lord on my side, I've been cuckoo as they say, the crazy. Because I used to be a Paul in the world, I used to be a David in the world, and a Peter in the world. But now I use all those things that I was in the world to now for the glorification of God. And shoot, girl, I was
now
you were David.
Now you're rude. Me, I could actually say I was like a Peter, definitely, because I would just assault you with words or my fist if I didn't. I don't have a problem with this, and you know what though. But at the same time, Peter was one of Jesus' strongest as advocates, and he kept Peter, James, and John close because they had some gangster attitudes. They really did.
I do got a little gangster attitude in me, so hey.
People want to say there was no gangs in the Bible. No, you talk to Peter, James, and John. Okay, because if you were there,
somebody ear. Come on.
Okay, they'll fault you. Peter, they were like they were ready to throw you off. So don't think that Peter didn't have to deal with gangsters. I want to tell people that I know for a while I was a gangster before I really became saved. Like I was a bad person. I'm like, oh my God, I'll beat you up. And don't let me talk about my high school days. But you know what's an interesting thing is everybody always tries to say, oh, I can't relate to anybody in the Bible. You really need to read the Bible because everybody has a personality from the Bible. There's some of us that are just saints that just, oh, my God, you're saints. Okay, we bow to you. Great for you. Then there's some of us who are in the middle, and then there's some of us who constantly do great things, and we're the big, the big people in the Bible. But every one of us has a character in the Bible. Okay, so just like some of you guys,
ain't nobody perfect. to.
Yeah, nobody.
And there's Jesus Jr.
Okay. Now, I mean, and you know what? If people say that they're perfect, then I'm gonna move away from you. So when lightning hits you, that's I don't want to, because I don't want to take away your glory of lightning hitting you because you're perfect. Because you know, shit, if you're perfect and lightning hits you, then you'll still be standing. I don't want to be holding on to you. So see, I just saying. But anyway, I'm just crazy. We all know that May is Mental Health Month, and I've really been on being honest with everybody about, you know, that I do and do suffer from depression, but my depression is well checked with medication, food, exercise, and being honest with my life and saying when I'm struggling and, you know, getting help when I need it. And I know there's a lot of people out there that feel like, oh, my God, I don't need help because, in my fingers in quotes, because it's the man that's getting me down or it's this person. As I talked about last week, yes, there is a sect of people who have been environmentally hurt because of their skin color and by the environment. And we're talking a lot about African American people, men especially. Yes, there is a sect, but not everybody can fit into there. Sometimes people just need to get help because you're suffering from, maybe you just have a bad attitude and you keep saying, why are you losing friends? Well, you know what? Maybe you need to go to counseling and see how it is. Not like you need medicine. Maybe you need counseling. And I love my black people, but let me tell you guys something, okay? We're the first ones to deny that we need help. We'll blow it off as, oh, my God, you know, we can't.
Say that.
Huh?
Say that. Please say that.
I mean, we'll say that. Well, like I use a story for some people, especially say if you have an uncle and he was in a war, he's Caucasian. Well, Uncle Bob was traumatized from the war. Uncle Bob never went to war. Did anybody even check the story? Where did that story get passed down from? How do you know Uncle Bob? We already know Uncle Bob didn't go to war. You need to get Uncle Bob some help. The black person. Well, you know, he's just traumatized because life has been so hard and everybody's been down on him. No, he was one of those people who just need to check his attitude. And you need help because you know what? Sometimes life does get to you. It really gets you down. But it's nothing wrong with saying you need help and stuff. Just like we deny that black people have blood pressure. Or Jerry Royce Live did a series on called Dirty Diana, or they're doing it. Diabetes. We're African Americans and Hispanics and also Chinese. We lead the warfare in diabetes. Okay? Love fried chicken? Well, I don't like fried chicken. But I'm telling you, we need to cut some of that salt out and put that pork fat in those greens and sort of kind of alter our greens because our blood pressure is high. We're going to wipe out. Do you know the leading cause after with blood pressure that you can have is a stroke and then a heart attack? And some people, when they have heart attacks, they're massive heart attacks. And I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but how are you not going to take care of your health and your high blood pressure or your mental illness when you have children or you have a family that needs you and then you take yourself out? Because I'm going to tell you guys something, and I said this for, I think, the first or second time on the air since I've been doing this. About a year and a half ago, when they took me off my job, I've been on my job for 39 years, and they sent me home because I wouldn't, that I was okay and my doctor wasn't going to lie, and neither was I. They sent me home. 39 years of working, and I've been on medical leave since. It took me down, took me to a really deep place. I even contemplated suicide. But with God's help, a lot of music, thank you, Hezekiah Walker, I hope I said that right, and a lot of prayer and a lot of exercise, I've come back from all of that. So don't think that sometimes when people really need help, you need to really be in touch with them. Does that make sense, Miss Kimmie?
Yes, it does, and that's why God says that we are supposed to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So when you see a brother and sisters in help, reach out to them, pray with them, let them know that you're here, because when the body of Christ is injured, we're all injured, and it harms the body of Christ. And as we understand this walk, it becomes more apparent that we need each other. We need each other. We need each other. It's not because God says, if you don't love your man, your fellow man who you see every day, how can you say you love me who you never see? And then he goes to say, you're a liar and the truth is not in you. And liars cannot make it to heaven. So my people, my brothers and sisters in Christ, we are called to love each other. And when you see someone, in a low morale or they need some strength or they need some encouragement, pray for them. Let them know, give them a hug. You know, you don't even have to say a lot. Just give them a hug, you know. And I've learned that to do a hug because you never know what someone is going through.
And when God puts somebody in your heart, because God does, and if there's anybody on here that says God doesn't, it has nothing to do with being spiritual. It has God put somebody in your heart for a reason. Don't tell that person, oh, God put you on my heart 3 months later, but I didn't even call you, because I'm going to slap you if you tell me that. I swear, I'm going to go gangster in the name of Peter.
Just say,
okay,
I just called to say I love you. You don't even have to say all that. You know, you don't.
Okay, just say, hey, you know what, I'm thinking of you, and you know what, you came to mind something, but don't tell somebody later, because you know what, the moment in time that God puts somebody in your heart is for you to pick up the phone, text them. You know, you have so many social media ways to contact somebody these days, there's just no reason not to if somebody's been put on your heart, because you never know, that could be the text or the message that person gets to change their whole outlook on life. And more than often, people will tell you, oh, my God, I received your text, I was having a bad day, blah, 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 and you know what, hey, you know what, God will take care of it. I mean, and that's it. And forgive people for things, because you know what, life is short, and I have learned, and Kimmie and I have went through this, I've learned when people upset you, you don't run from them, you run toward them, and you try to figure it out, if you can. Some people, you just can't figure it out, and you just got to say, okay, I loved you, bye, okay? You just can't. Some people you can't, Kimmie, and I know we can't. So for some of those people, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
I still love you. You know who we talking about.
Yeah, I still love you, but I can't be near you. But like with Kimmie and I, we went through our ups and downs as friends. But you know what? We're stronger and better, and we can now tell each other, hey, you know what? You know, this is bugging me, or this is bugging me. And you stop running away from people. Stop trying to get rid of everybody, because you know you're lonely sitting up in that house by yourself saying, okay, it's me and God. Because you know what? I'm going to tell you, I have God most of his time, so when you call him, sometimes he can't answer because I'm talking to him. So you need to stop, like, faking out that you don't need nobody, because you know what? God can't always talk to you. Cause I'm just kidding. This is a running joke with me. That's it. God's always have time for you. Don't you worry. He does. That's just a running joke. I hope it made you people laugh. All right. Now, real quick, 211 in any state, as long as you're in the United States, if you are suffering from depression, anxiety, your child has ADHD symptoms, and children cannot be diagnosed with ADHD until after the age of 10. Please don't let a doctor tell you that different. And you know what? I'm going to just say this for those people that they're considering putting your child on ADHD medicine when they're young. You might want to really consider homeschooling your child part of the way, or really thinking about getting them in another school. Now laws are that your children don't have to go to school in the district that they're stationed for. You can choose the school. At least that's for us in Las Vegas and California, and I think that's becoming a standard and norm. As long as you're willing to transfer them, your kid should be able to go anywhere. I'm not guaranteeing it, but check it out with your district. Kids don't always need to be medication. Sometimes, especially boys with ADHD, they need to get their happy butts out and exercise, because I had to do that for my sons. Get them out, get them at least an hour and a half to 2 hours exercise. What do you think, Kimmie?
I agree. I'm going to be honest. Boys are so smart. They get bored easily. It's not like they don't have issues with attention span. You need to keep them occupied. You said it all. You said it right. I don't believe in that. I wait until they get older, and then I would, go see a doctor. But to just put them on medication at a young age, no, I don't trust the system like that. So I really believe, like you said, just keep them occupied. Yeah, keep them busy. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, because my sons were clinically diagnosed with ADHD symptoms, and they had them, and it was verified by really great institutions and everything. But I refused to, because my sons, at their little young age, one of them, and he's so smart, Mom, I'm just a zombie right now. Okay, thank you for telling me that. We'll work on that. So he had common sense enough to know that. And what I did is I made sure I got them to 2 hours, and it took a lot as a mom to get them their exercise. But I put them in soccer. After soccer, I would let them run around outside, just run, go chase a dog, go chase a dog, go chase a dog. Then I would keep them on structure, cut out a lot of the white sugar things that they didn't need, because you have to think about this. Man created the white sugar. In Jesus' time, we were eating wheat, okay? Literally.
Yes.
In Passover, there was nothing made with white flour. It was made with wheat. It wasn't leavened because of but I'm just saying we as man created this, and for economic. But it's better. Think about this. It's better to spend $1 more on some wheat bread for your child and have them less hyper, less problems, and than you filling up with wheat and their systems and the glutens that are not supposed to be there harm them. I really am big on healthy eating. I mean, today probably wasn't my best day because I was emotional, but hey, that's not me every day. But you make sure your kids get the fruits, and you know what? Get them to bed on time. A lot of times, especially boys with ADHD, they need sleep than girls do. But the bottom line is you have to have structure, exercise, program. Now, there may be some kids that, because my son, as he got toward older, we did put him on a little medication, but it was a half a tablet, but that was only during certain times of school. It was never on weekends, and it was never at night. It was for a contained control of the time. So there may be times that you have to do that. But, work with your doctor, seek a nutritionist, and seek out a person who knows holistic health. And I know we've talked a lot about today, but the bottom line today was about God, about what God can do and what God can help. And God created holistic medicines. So just wanted to point that out to people. And the last thing is, I didn't get to point this out, but I always say it to everybody, if you're feeling suicidal right now and you're listening to the show, you need to put the phone down, call 911, get some help. If you can wait, you need to call somebody and get reassurance because you're loved, you're wanted, and you are valuable here to people here on earth, just so you guys know. But this has been Rolling with the Diva with Miss Kimmie Kim. Kim, before we go, can you give everybody again where they can follow you on social media and give a shout out? And everybody doesn't know, but Miss Kimmie is a single mom, and she does all that she does and keeps her girls dressed finely, their hair looking good, and those kids are always smiling. Believe me, they don't get away with murder, but those are some well taken care of kids. So hats off to Miss Kimmie. Happy early Mother's Day to her, and we have your back, Kimmie.
Thank you. Well, I just want to thank you, I can't call you my sister. You're my sister.
Go ahead. Go ahead. For you, I do an exception. My sister. Go ahead. Say it. Go ahead.
But you can reach at elationmagazine@gmail.com. And I just want to thank you so much for having me on your network. You're amazing, too. I mean, you're doing single word, raising 2 boys, trusting God, and doing your ministry. And, you just gave us some encouragement to persevere no matter how we feel, because it's not about our feelings. So you just encouraged me as well today. So that's why we meet each other. And I just want to thank you for this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, my sister, Kimmie. See, Kimmie's probably the only one. I should have made an exception to the rule like I did for my nieces. Kimmie's the only one who can exception and call me sister. Okay, so there we go. Thank you. She doesn't, because that's how Kimmie always does. She's like either hello, beautiful, or hello, sister. So we don't want to take that away from Kimmie, so Kimmie has it. And let me tell you guys about her. Because you know what it is. But you know what? It's just a Sabrina thing. But you know what? If you guys listen to the show, you know Sabrina crazy and she does her own thing. But I want to thank you guys. I really do. It's just, I can't even imagine, like, out of all God's children, I don't think God really, I think he understood who he's making, but as I've evolved, I don't think anybody goes around telling God what God's going to do. Like today I told him, so this is what I say to God. I said, I'm fine with this thing ending with him, but I'm going to need you to, work on, making it happen, and this is my specific requirements, and I'm going to go back to our list, and we need to talk about this tomorrow because today I have the radio show, and when I get home I want to watch video, so can we talk about this at 8 in the morning? I don't think anybody, puts God on an appointment schedule like I do, and I know and if you understand me and my humor, people, you have to understand God has a sense of humor because he has to with me, because I'm telling you, God will be saying to me, I'm like, God, not right now, just a minute. Okay, hold on a second. Let me pull over. Let me talk to you about this. And you know what? When you can get that real with God and you're not afraid that God's going to zap you with lightning because you done told him I'll talk to you tomorrow at 8 in the morning about this, you have to know God has a sense of humor because he has made us unique. And I told him, God, I'm fine with this. You need to be okay with this too because you made me. So, you know what? Just be life and be happy and know God loves you just as you are. And you know what? When you can develop a free will relationship with God and just talk to him as if he's just your father with an amount of respect, you're going to be good to go. What do you think, Kimmie? Oh, we've cut poor Kimmie off. But anyway, oh my goodness, sorry, Kimmie. But this has been Rolling with the Diva. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to end this show with Help Me to Pray by Dwayne God.
Progressive presents Get Pumped. Inspiration to help you do insurance stuff.
Okay, time out. You're gonna let your budget be the boss of you? Take control with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay for car insurance, and we'll help you find options that fit your budget. Here's some music to get you pumped. Da-dong, 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 dang, dang. I hear your budget laughing at you. Oh, wait, that's just those kids laughing at me. Ignore them! Da-dong, da-dong,
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.